Hello, everybody. 'Tis I, the me, the Kanada, the one of many. You get the joke. So, a little thing popped up this morning, a leak, as it were, because someone at Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever the hell they're calling this hybrid thing they are now, their Pampers leaking, and some unfinished content just started seeping out between the leg bands. So, one of those things was a unfinished pilot, or random episode, of Looniversity, or Tiny Toons University, whatever the hell the actual title is. I think it's Tiny Toons University, or Looniversity, something like that. So, that leaked, and I watched it. I have thoughts, and I'm going to give those thoughts to you in a video presentation format, like I do for every little thing in my life these days, because I have a problem, and I like the attention. So, quick throwing down the original Tiny Toons show. If you don't remember this, and you're watching this video right now with a guy who's in his late 30s, you are an actual child, leave. Those of you who are actually adults and actually grew up with Tiny Toons and its sister show Animaniacs, reboots are a bit of a thing. There's been the Animaniacs one, which, for the record, is okay. It's fine. These shows are very much a time and place situation. They are very much a product of the 90s. Removing them from their original context, they don't work as well. The Animaniacs reboot is okay. It's somewhat funny. It's not bad. It knows what it wants to be, what it's trying to be, and how successful it is will be very much your mileage will vary situation. This isn't talking about that thing. I'm bringing that up in context to see how this one, which is trying the same idea of let's reboot a 90s Warner Brothers property for the modern day, how successful this is. Now, also, big grain of salt with my thoughts and this thing in general, because this is very clearly an unfinished pilot episode, or at least an episode of the show in general. It is very clearly not done. There are massive animation errors, temp sound effects, temp music, and as I can tell, temp voice acting for a lot of it too. I'm not sure if the lead characters are all temps as well, because I'm pretty sure one of them might be the Dipper Pines guy, so, that feels like an actual casting main decision instead of someone you bring in for a temp job. Anyways, so I'm not going to rag particularly hard on those elements, like, it's not done. The sound mixing's not done. The editing's not finished. The voice acting is probably not going to be a good chunk of it's probably not going to be in the final version of this. What I can rag on, designs, aesthetics, and writing, and I got plenty to talk about here. So, I'm not going to show any footage from this thing because it's probably going to get nuked in a few hours. So I watched the leak, and I'm probably the link I had is probably going to be gone by the time I'm done recording this. So, basically, this is a total reboot, which is a choice. I'm not sure I agree with it or see much point to it. Like, bring it up again, the Animaniacs reboot was actually clearly a continuation, and it worked off that and made jokes on that. That was probably the best decision. This is a total restart, which I remember the only real buzz it's had was getting people pissed off because they decided to make Buster and Babs related instead of just having the same last name, which breaks one of the best running jokes they had in the entire show originally, and just feels pointless. And this, again, a pilot, or just a single episode. They don't work with them being related whatsoever, so going like this, there's nothing gained by doing that. But anyways, minor quibble. The episode in question is talking about Buster trying to get a nemesis, which, common cartoon trope, that's fine. And it actually involves heavily with Bugs Bunny and his drag thing. So it's just Buster adopting his own drag persona, essentially, to get the best of his nemesis, which apparently is going to be Montana Max. But hey, Montana Max is back. That's fun. He kind of works like This whole thing is not bad, but it's very much a nothing burger. There's nothing great in here, or even that good, but nothing offensively bad, so I can't get up angry at it. I can't really work up the energy to have much of an opinion, which, as I've gotten older, I've realized this is a worse thing to do than just be bad. At least if you're bad in a memorable, interesting manner, I will remember you existed. I'm looking at you, Chip and Dale's reboot movie thing from last year. Hey, I bet most of you forgot about that thing already. That was bad in an interesting way. Not good, but I remember it. This, I am literally struggling to remember what happened, and I'm recording this now because I'm going to lose that memory just out of my head in a couple of hours. That's way worse than just being bad. If you're nothing, you've wasted my time. At least if you're bad, I'll remember you happened. I'm not going to remember this happened. So that's about as big of a condemning I can give to this thing. So, the pilot episode is about Buster trying to get his nemesis on. Montana Max's nemesis. It's about him adopting a drag persona. Kind of funny. I do enjoy the fact that they're just going to lean right into Bugs's and I guess Buster's now's cross-dressing thing, which is fun. I like them that these days people just rant, that most writers involving Looney Tunes story material are just running with that. Good. I'm happy with that. They don't do anything particularly fun or new with it, but it is, at least they tried. And then we have a B plot, which, oh yeah, by the way, this appears to be doing the thing where it's one 20-minute chunk of an episode and not like split into shorts like the old show or Animaniacs did, or even the Animaniacs reboot did. That's a problem because pacing. Now, this is one I'm not going to hit it too hard on the pacing because, hey, this is a unfinished pilot thingy. It's not done. Editing could speed this thing up and make it a little bit better. As is, it feels slow. It feels padded, fatty. Not good for your comedy show. You need snap, 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 snap on your comedy thing to keep it going. The pacing needs to be quick and fast and funny. Especially in modern shows. Like, you need, at this point, we are used to a very snappy beat with your comedy shows. This feels slow, which is not good. And it makes it hard for me to keep my attention and keep me involved. There's a B plot with Babs and new character replace OC Tweety Bird stand-in. Like, the old Tiny Toons characters, they were all just, stand-ins for the child versions of the original OG Looney Tunes characters. Buster is Bugs, Plucky is Daffy, etc. There wasn't really one for Tweety that I recall, so we have a new character which is the stand-in for Tweety. And they are kind of like a new agey, grumpy female character, which is not that interesting, and they don't do much with it. It's just kind of a trope, so it's kind of boring. Speaking of boring, Babs. She got nothing. There's nothing happening with her. She has no personality beyond female character, and that's not even like doing the bad, strong, independent woman character thing. It's just like nothing. She has no jokes. Personality is completely undeveloped for this. Admittedly, this is just a single episode, so maybe there's more with her, but as is, there's nothing. Like, she might as well not have even been in the episode. You could have literally cut her out and just had the Tweety Bird stand and run the entire B plot, which is Montana Max is also destroying a coffee shop that all the characters hang out in, which I guess is the writer's decision to, like, what do college kids do? Hang out at coffee shops now. Okay. I haven't been in college in years, so I suppose that might be accurate to the college kids at the time these days. I don't know. Do I look like a college student at this point? No. So, fine. And Montana Max is trying to take over the property and destroy it so he can put a juice store, a Whole Foods joke on top of it and destroy it just because he feels like it. Fine. The B plot is Dizzy, which was the Taz stand-in, is going to be out of a place to live and has to room with Babs and Tweety Bird stand-in. It's a B plot. There's not much to it. Let's bring up the redesigns for this show. The school of redesign for this show was take the old design, throw a shirt and or a jacket on top of it, and call it a day. That's it. And it seems like this memo only went for about 4 or 5 characters in the main cast, because Disney's here, and it's the exact same design as before. No changes. Like Babs, Plucky, Buster. They have shirts and jackets added. That's it. Otherwise, unchanged from the original 90s designs. And you even see some of the older background characters pop up too, and they're either completely exactly the same, or they've added a shirt. That's it. It feels pointless. The redesigns aren't bad, but they're just kind of okay. The big thing this reminds me of, honestly, is the Looney Tunes show from about 5 years ago now. I think it was something like that. But that was taking the same thing where you're taking the classic Looney Tunes characters, removing them from their main setting, putting them into modern day stuff with situations, and then building a comedy off that. Looney Tunes show was underrated by quite a bit, but it also took it about a season and a half to figure out what the hell it was actually wanting to be or what it wanted to do, and it was canceled by that point. So, whoops. This has the same energy as that, but it has the energy of when they didn't know what they were doing in the first season or so. So, pacing feels off, the characters are not developed, and the way they are developed feels out of character now. And that show had the advantage of it was already working with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, funny characters that you don't have to do a lot with, and you can go way harder with. This show is hamstrung itself by trying to readapt an old 90s cartoon kids show with a completely different energy, and it's also trying to be a kids show clearly, so it can't go very hard on the humor, which is ironic because Looney Tunes show was also a kids show that went way harder on things and was actually pretty funny. This has nothing. There's no energy here at all. The cross-dressing is kind of amusing that we're going to go just straight into that instead of giving it some time to develop or being scared off like a lot of kids shows don't want to do these days anymore. Oh, I'm saying these days or anymore a lot. I feel so young and full of vitality. Old joke. Anyway, this exists. I can't get angry at it because there's not enough to even care about. It's unfinished, so I can't judge it completely. But I don't have high expectations for whatever the final form of this is going to be. Voice acting's pretty bad, honestly. Like, everyone sounds either really miscast, really bored, or is literally doing an impression of the older voice acting, which is either fine or just uninteresting. Now, a lot of these actors are probably temps. I'm not sure about the lead actor for Buster, who I'm pretty sure is Dipper Pines. Almost certain, I don't know. And that feels more like a final decision than a temp job. But anyways, I may have said that already. I don't know. My memory is just leaking out of my ears. Oh, I can't keep this thing in my skull anymore. I got nothing. It's a kid's show. It's a photocopy of a photocopy, essentially, and it doesn't even have... It's not even making the attempt to re-engage with the older audience like the Animaniacs one did, and it doesn't have anything new for the kid audience who is not going to care. And if you can't get one audience and you're not bothering to try hard enough to get the other, this has no life. This has no future. This is a dead show walking. It might get renewed for something, but no one's going to watch it. Like, did you remember there's a Monsters Inc. show on Disney Plus? No. Nobody knows that's even on there. Nobody cares. That's the thing. Nobody's going to care on this thing once the initial, oh, this sucks, is gone. And this is on the pilot, so once this the leak pilot, so once this actually gets on air and finished, there's nothing. Zip, nada. It may have well and never even happened. And that's about the most terrible thing I could say about a show. You deserve better, Tiny Toons. I'm sorry. Maybe the next show will be better. I never got around to finishing its second season, and I don't know if I'll bother with the third either, so, and that one's not even bad. I just didn't care enough to bother to finish. So, yeah. Reboots keep happening, and this is the kind that gets swept right back under the rug until they try again in 10, 15 years. Oh well, the corpses of the RoboCop remake, Total Recall reboot. I can go on. We'll keep this thing warm until it slowly dies again. And they can dig into the corpse pile in about a decade and try to reanimate it one more time. We'll see. Anywho, This is one skeleton, future skeleton, talking to more future skeletons. I'm going to go do something more interesting. Probably eat a pizza. That sounds good. Pizza sounds good. Maybe spaghetti. What was I talking about? Oh. I don't know. You're the one staring at me, watching me talk to myself on the video camera. You're weird. At least I'm a cat. I have an excuse to stare at you. That's what the cats do. Go away. I'm done.